We have started a new year that is mostly wide open to us, with this being the 13th day of 2013. The possibilities are endless. For some of us, 2013 might be our best year yet. For others of us, 2013 might be our worst year. But for most of us, 2013 will lie somewhere in the middle. What plans do you have for yourself in 2013? What can you imagine happening this year? And how do you see yourself changing as a person in this upcoming year? Not only is this a new year for our own individual lives, but it's a new year filled with the potential for new possibilities for our church. This morning, I would like to highlight some of the great ministries we participated in and accomplished in 2012. And I will also like to share some goals, dreams that I see for Wabash Christian Church in 2013. In 2012, we continued with the unbinding process that started years ago. 3 groups met at different times to delve deeper into their faith within a group setting, where in-depth discussion and thought-provoking questions took place. Also, pairs of 2 met on a regular basis to discuss more in-depth the joys and concerns that were happening in each of their lives. In both the group setting and in one-on-one interaction, prayer was the focal point. And not simply talking about praying, but actually praying. Sometimes we confuse talking about prayer and participating in prayer. But there was no confusion in those groups as individuals held hands, whether literally or metaphorically, and opened up their souls and asked for prayers for themselves, then having a group of their friends praying for them. In 2012, we also expanded upon a deep love and passion of this church outreach. A faithful group of our own, a group of disciples of Christ, not only named but in action, went down to Henryville for a weekend to help with the rebuilding efforts after a devastating tornado ripped through that small town in early 2012. This group made up of many people with many different skill levels and talents, but all with amazing hearts and the willingness to serve, went down on their bodies, their hands, their heads, their hearts, and souls to those who were in need of physical, spiritual, and emotional rebuilding. And if you were there that Sunday when our friends shared a little bit about their experiences, you know that what they were able to accomplish mattered and made a difference, not only to those in Henryville, but in their own lives as well. As a result of this, I have seen a renewed spark inside each and every single one of them to follow Christ more closely, and this spark I see in their work here in this congregation. As a church, we were able to help support financially, spiritually, and emotionally one of our own going out into the world to serve God in such an extreme and powerful way. Then Polly answered the call to serve God in London, where she is currently spreading the gospel. In many different situations in our church, Lynn shared her passion and what she felt God had called her to do. And we have agreed to walk alongside her during this time. And because of this, because Lynn has been sent out, we are a strong church as we rally with one who grew up in this church and who many of us admire and love and wish we could be as bold as her in serving God. In addition, in 2012, without an official chair, a long-standing tradition of Wabash Christian Church participating in the Synod of 1812 was in jeopardy. However, this church, and especially a core group of faithful supporters and workers, wouldn't allow that to happen. It was so wonderful seeing those people working together to ensure that we still participated in that event. We did it, and it ended up being one of the best years yet. It was amazing seeing a group that would not take no for an answer and decided to work together so that we could raise money for the youth of our church church and for our mission work. In many ways, that is the gospel in action. In 2012, the youth accomplished so much individually, whether it was awards and titles in sports, 4-H, and academic endeavors, artistic ones as well, and many more. We really do have a great group of youth here. And if you don't know them well, please make it a point to in 2013. Under the direction of Lisa Rose, Roger Votov, and many others, the youth not only participated in many fellowship opportunities, but also many service-oriented ones as well, such as Operation Elf, and shopping, and also wrapping up the gifts and delivering, making Christmas cookies for those in nursing homes, assembling Christmas boxes for those in the military. And those are just but a few of what our youth accomplished in 2012. Lisa also started a new ministry called First and Thirds, where older youth gathered together to discuss important topics such as the relationship between science and faith. It's commonly thought that the youth are the future of the church, but I don't believe it. I believe that the youth are the church of the now. And we should be proud of what they have accomplished. And it is our responsibility of us who are older to not only set a good example to them about what a good Christian is and how a church that seeks to follow Christ ought to be and act, but we need to be involved in their lives. And we need to know what is going on in their lives as well. Those are but some of the many new ministries that we achieved in 2012. There's many more, but you don't want to be here all afternoon. Now, here is where I see us going in 2013. I would love to expand upon the small groups that were established in early 2012. Some are still meeting, while others have stopped. I felt last year after the initial 8-week period, the groups were reaching such a high point. And when we were set to reorganize and start to invite new people, the groups kind of stifled a bit. Gathering in a small group atmosphere allows us to get to know each other in a more meaningful way. While many of you have known each other for years and years, decades, we don't always know each other on a real personal level. With small groups, there's freedom to share yourself in a more intentional way. Having these small group gatherings also allows an avenue for others to join, especially those outside of the church. Gone are the days when most people come to a new church on a Sunday morning for service. The act of growing a church and inviting new people is more personal in today's society, and there's more action required on our part. While it's scary, and we might be hesitant to be involved in a small group and invite others into them, it is essential if we want to see our church grow in regards to the faith of its current members and in bringing more disciples into our church family. Also in 2013, I would like to see more of an emphasis on the subject of stewardship. Now, stewardship covers many different topics such as time, how much time we spend working on our faith and in the church, talent, how are we sharing our gifts with the church, and treasure. What do we value and what are we willing to give up towards spreading and supporting the gospel of Jesus Christ? We are told in Scripture that our whole bodies, that we are to present them in the ministry of the church. This means we worship God with every ounce of who we are. There's no part of our lives that we are to hide from God or keep from God. God asks for our service and our whole bodies. And as faithful disciples, we need to give up our whole selves to God and His ministry. We already have a leg up on this endeavor. An endowment permanent fund committee has been meeting for this past year in order to draft a policy regarding how undesignated end-of-life giving would be spent in Wabash Christian Church. Under the leadership of Tom Frank, such a policy is so close to being voted on and approved. Such a policy allows those who wish to leave Wabash Christian